World over, we invest millions and billions of dollars in our construction projects, in furnishing our homes, and in our lifestyles, in our properties, whether it's commercial or residential. In Kampala alone, in the last 5 years, we've witnessed the collapse of several buildings and the loss of many lives and many injured lives. What hugely causes this? We talk about counterfeit products and fake products. Our focus in the conversation today is particularly on that. Allow me, before I introduce the whole subject, introduce Counsel Muwema. He's a renowned lawyer we all know. I've known him for quite a number of years. I am privileged to call him both a friend and partner in the business world, really. Counsel, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Edwin.
And since the president forbids the handshake, I salute you from afar.
Thank you.
I know you've been very vocal on a number of many issues, but of course now it's very interesting. The anti-counterfeit network. Let's start from there. Where did this idea get birthed from?
The anti-counterfeit network is a multidisciplinary platform that brings together professionals from different sectors, and they come together to provide a platform where all those who affect and are affected by counterfeits can come together to fight counterfeits and fake products. You have one entity saying buy genuine bricks today. Just below that there is a police station, and somebody who was arrested with the fake cement is being released. There is no coordination. The anti-counterfeit network came up basically to bridge that communication gap. In other words, to say that let us have consumers, let us have brand owners, let's have regulators, let's have the judiciary all coming together. What is being pushed principally is to understand the concealed dangers to counterfeits, because for many people they think that a counterfeit is no problem, it's just a good deal, it's a good bargain, it's cheap, this is a price, but they do not know that sometimes they are paying the price with their life. We lose a lot of people, there are a lot of health and safety issues with fake products, but it is showing. For example, these days you have so many people falling sick. You have small children getting cancer. Where do you think all these diseases are coming from? So it is all because the whole environment has been infested with counterfeits, from the motor world to the cosmetics to real estate, building construction. Everything is being faked, and the motivation for the guys who are doing it is profit. Because we now have a ballooning population. Uganda now is 42, the region is soon going to be 200 million. There are more people who are aspiring to have a good lifestyle, they want to have a phone, they want to have designer clothes and so on. So that pushes the demand. As a result, because of weaknesses in regulation and enforcement, a lot of these things do get onto the market without the appropriate inspection, because sometimes we're more interested in collecting taxes rather than ensuring that the goods that are coming in are safe. So these are the challenges, and that's why we came in. Lastly, maybe I should mention that the key thing that we're pushing here is awareness. And every time a genuine product is advertised on the media, it also advertises the fake version of it. Because these products look the same, the packaging is the same, the price is similar, functionality may be different, but people may not realize the difference. So
how much of the construction industry could we say has been infested by the counterfeit or fake products?
Well, it is large. Unfortunately, we don't have proper statistics, and that's one of the issues. But I'll tell you that the building and construction industry has big issues, especially with cement, paint, with the steel bars and so on. You have different categories of products there. For cement, you will have a lot of people who dupe the consumer. They get the packaging, the exact packaging. They'll put a small hole and release some of the genuine product and add in some clay soil, some ash, some expired lime and so on. that a lot of that cement is on the market. And the consumer, of course, has no means of knowing. Sometimes the place where he's buying from is the authorized dealer. You have a lot of bars which do not have the right gauge, the right measurement, the right weight. And Edwin, you know that when you're constructing, if you're doing a beam, it is supposed to have, for example, a certain strength to be able to hold a structure if it is stored or whatever. The challenge is that the regulator is weak because the National Bureau of Standards, the Uganda Police Economics Crimes Division, which should be looking at these things, do not have sufficient manpower. They do not have, like UNBS does not have a good number of labs. That's why at SCN what we are doing now, partnering with several brands, we're going to put what we call the FX desk marshals. It will be a desk at points of sale, for example, for specific products. So if you're entering into a certain place, you have people there who will walk you through the specifications of this product, the things to look out for.
Yes.
If I ask you, Edwin, now, many of the fast-moving consumer goods, do you really know? But have we had a brand coming out to say, these are the places where you should go? Maybe some are doing it, but we need to see more and more of this.
Is there an actual instituted law is there to fight counterfeit products?
Yes, the law is there. For example, in
By the way,
building,
we keep talking about products, but viewers will be aware that while we're talking about products, there's also counterfeit and fake services. But
Yes.
talk about
now,
that.
like building construction, we have the Building Control Act 2013. Before that, we have a lot of regulations since the colonial times on standards. You have professional bodies that regulate architects. You have the Uganda Society of Architects. You have the Architects Registration Board. Despite the fact that we have all these laws in place, and we even have the professionals who should be working in the building construction industry. I am sure, Edwin, you go out there and you'll find a lot of sites with just masons.
Yeah.
A mason is just supposed to do brickwork, plastering, and things like that. But somebody leaves the responsibility, a 1 billion shilling project. He knows some mason who built somebody's house and so on. He leaves the responsibility of the drawings. The same mason is the one who even brings the electrical guy, the plumbing. A lot of buildings are going on like that because people think they are actually saving money. We have laws, but the enforcement of the laws and regulations is weak. You have inspectors who get corrupted. They go to a site and turn a blind eye. You have stamps for approval of plans and so on being forged. You have and the idea is that shows like this, which are trying to push to the next level the real estate business, should also carry a strong anti-counterfeit message. We need a conscious effort by everyone because we are all consumers. But also, secondly, we the consumers must also be conscious. A lot of times we have a poor reading culture here. The product will have an expiry date, but very few people check expiry date. For example, if you are buying a Dettol, you know the logo. Take time to know what the logo looks like. Take to see how the get-up is. If you see anything distorted, anything loose, and that should raise a red flag for you. But unfortunately, consumers in this part of the world are not conscious about that. I visited some, and unfortunately, it's not just here in Africa. Even Africans who are in the diaspora visited some people abroad, and you go to the kitchen and check, all the products there are expired, and you ask the guy, and he says, no, they were cheaper, but besides, for us, the expiry dates don't work on us Africans. So it's a mindset. That's why in the last 6 months, you've had 5-6 accidents involving about 30 deaths, one in Jinja, another in Makerere here last year in April, and people are dying. But do you have the kind of urgency and pressure that you see? Sometimes we see in the news one musician was beaten up by bottles and so on, and the whole establishment is, we must get the culprits. But what about the culprits who are bringing in the fake building materials? Why is it business as usual? It is business as usual because we are not aware.
If you can get onto our social media platforms, we're engaging in a conversation. Have you experienced a fake product or fake service in the construction industry or real estate per se? I know that our time is up, but we shall get Council Muwema again. But before we close, what would be your very final comment to the viewers that are watching right now? Because part of the purpose of this show is that when people are watching, they will be able to make informed decisions. To the person that is watching right now, I always encourage you to be very cognizant of the fact that when we're dealing with some issues here, until it happens to you, that's when you don't want to be in a place where it happens and then you regret and say, oh my goodness, I wish I had done something about it.
Please don't buy counterfeit or fake products. They are harmful, they are very dangerous to your health and your safety. I have just received a case of a small kid that was burnt up in a house. They had left it in the house. I think there was a wiring issue.
Wow.
And the house caught fire. Fortunately, there was a neighbor who managed to break the door and open. These cases are happening. I think we need to be accountable to ourselves as consumers, but also we need to hold accountable the brands, the regulators, to ensure that they make the country a safe place.
Awesome, thank you so much. And we hope at the Expo we'll be able to put together a desk for the anti-counterfeit product report. It's a property talk right here at Nina Interiors. And let this conversation keep running until we get to its conclusion for a better society with good, genuine, authentic, original products.